This is the Airpods Max, one of the best and most expensive headphones out right now, and these are the Galaxy Buds Pro, just about the best earbuds out right now. Now I know we're not supposed to do this, and you might even say it's outrageous, earbuds have their advantages, headphones have their clear advantages, but man, sometimes you'd be surprised. They're just some devices that can punch outside their weight class, and in a lot of different ways that you'll have to actually use them to know. And these are pretty interesting devices. But which is actually better? Like actually better. Like when it comes to fulfilling all our audio needs, like listening to music in the best quality we can, to being able to stop the music and still not have to deal with all that noise around us, to being able to deal with that noise while with the headphones on, and this time by choice. I'm talking about transparency mode, by the way. But I'm actually talking about everything though. Like how they feel when laying down on the bed, how they are for working out, how they are for going out, how they are for watching movies, how they could be though for watching movies, how they also could be though for watching movies, to battery life, extra features, not so good things, to this sound, and to everywhere we need to go to get the answer to which is actually better. Okay, you ready? Well, let's start with sound quality. Since we're talking sound quality, this should be the Airpods Max's competition to lose. What I mean is, they really have no business losing here. Just for the fact that they're headphones, and expensive ones at that, they should easily be better than the Galaxy Buds Pros when it comes to sound quality. And they sound very good. The highs sound very good, the mids sound very good, and it has good bass as well. Not as much bass as some headphones like the Sony WH-1000 XM3s or XM4s, because with headphones like these, you can really feel the bass. Straight out of the box, Sony actually cranks up the bass to be more than normal, so technically they're not accurate sounding, but if you like bass, you're gonna love the Sony straight out the box. With the Airpods Max though, the bass is definitely not as much. It's still pretty good, and it sounds very clean, and I mean it kind of depends on the song as well, but with most songs, the bass you hear will be noticeably less than the bass you hear with the Sony headphones. Actually, with a bunch of songs, the bass you hear will be about the same amount as the bass you hear with the Galaxy Buds Pros. Now I know, that sounds kind of crazy, but it is true. And it's also kinda not completely surprising. See, Samsung has been making bold claims about the Galaxy Buds Pros and all the new hardware they've managed to fit in there that's supposed to take sound quality to the next level. And honestly, the Galaxy Buds Pros sound great. I really enjoy listening to music with them. Everything sounds very good. The highs, the mids, the bass, especially the bass. I think they have the best bass and just sound quality on any earbuds I've tested. In fact, I remember I said in one of my previous videos that it can even compete against flagship over-ear headphones, and that's what they're doing right now, actually. So yeah, how did they perform against Apple's one and only flagship headphones though? Can the Galaxy Buds Pros actually match and maybe even beat the Airpods Max when it comes to sound quality? Well, no, the Airpods Max is still better, but it actually is pretty close though, as in the sound quality difference between them isn't so much. The Galaxy Buds Pros are really that good enough to compare. With many songs, basically most songs in general, the level and quality of bass you get from the Galaxy Buds Pros are around the same level as the level of bass you get from the Airpods Max. In fact, with some songs, you'll even hear more bass, and if it's like a rap or a hip hop song, you'll be feeling your music more with the Galaxy Buds Pros. And if by any chance you don't like the way things sound, well, you can just go into the Galaxy Wearable app and mess with the EQ settings with the Buds Pros. With the Airpods Max, you don't get EQ settings, so if you don't like the way they sound, sucks for you. But at the end of the day, you are gonna like the way the Airpods Max sounds though. And even though the sound quality of the Buds Pros is truly great, and it honestly is very close to the Airpods Max's level, I know it's crazy, but my ears hear what they hear, and I'm telling you, it's true. But still, the Airpods Max is better overall when it comes to sound quality. The mids and the highs just sound better. Like, the Buds Pro sound very good too with the mids and the highs, but the Airpods Max just sounds better. There's just a lot of quality there. And there's also more sound separation, like you'd expect from other headphones, of course, but even more so with the Airpods Max. It's just much easier to hear the individual sounds, like separately, with the Airpods Max. With the Galaxy Buds Pros, since the earbuds, everything just sounds like they're coming from one source, one speaker. With the Airpods Max, everything sounds like it's coming from independent sources, just around your ears still. Same way it is with other flagship headphones, but even more so with the Airpods Max, I found. But apart from that, the Airpods Max also does this thing where it basically gives depth to each individual sound. I talk about it in my standalone review of the Airpods Max. And you can watch that if you want, but it's not gonna help you understand things though, because I didn't explain things well at all in that video. And I'm not going to in this video as well. This is kind of something I think you gotta hear it for yourself. But basically, with other headphones, I'll listen to some songs and I'll hear the bass and the singer singing, and it just sound normal, like I'm hearing the bass and the singer singing. With the AirPods Max, I'll hear the singer singing with like 3 different layers of audio of it, just subtly there. And the bass won't just do the regular boom, boom, booms. It have some layers to the bass drops as well. All of this is very subtle, and I'd say it's this subtle thing that the AirPods Max has unique to it. But at the same time, it doesn't mean you're gonna like it. And it's so subtle, you probably wouldn't notice it unless someone brought it to your attention. All you know is that there's something different about the AirPods Max's sound, but I don't know if you'll be able to place your finger on it. Anyways, long story short, like you probably expected, the AirPods Max is better than the Galaxy Buds Pros when it comes to sound quality. But at the core of things, like without sound separation and the sound layers thing I was talking about, it is pretty close because the Galaxy Buds Pros sound very, very good. They're just not better than the AirPods Max. But that's when it comes to sound quality though. There's another area we need to talk about that only has to do with when the music is not playing and you can hear a little bit of noise around you. Of course, the area I'm talking about is noise canceling. How do they compare there? Well, the Galaxy Buds Pros are very, very good at noise canceling. When you put them on and you have them in your ears, they'll cancel a great amount of noise. And not just for earbuds as well, like they can compete against other flagship headphones, really. They just have very good noise canceling in general. And they're one of the best earbuds on the market, if not the best, when it comes to noise canceling. They can really go head to head against almost any other device you put against them. And they stand a very good chance of winning too. But they have no chance of winning when they compete against the AirPods Max. The AirPods Max just has the best noise canceling on any consumer headphones, earbuds, any consumer sound device. They're just very, very good and they cancel a great amount of noise. A decent bit more than the Galaxy Buds Pros. Not so much though, like not as much as you're probably thinking, because there's a lot of diminishing returns with noise canceling technology in general. But just know the Galaxy Buds are very good when it comes to noise canceling. Even better than a few flagship headphones, like I said before. But they can't compete against the best noise canceling consumer headphones out right now, the AirPods Max. So the AirPods Max is easily the winner here, and they win against whatever device would put them against, really. But yeah, the Galaxy Buds Pros don't win this category. And they've kind of lost the previous categories too, so it's not really looking so good for them. But then again, these are categories where the headphones should shine. And these are basically the best parts of the AirPods Max. We're going to go into some not so good parts of the AirPods Max later. And we'll see if that's going to be enough to make the Galaxy Buds come out on top in this comparison. Because even though so far they haven't been winning in any category we've talked about, they've still performed very, very well in every single category so far. Well, all 2 categories. But from now on, they're gonna have to start winning some categories. If not, this video wouldn't be so outrageous, now would it? Okay, anyways, let's go to the next category now. The category where we want to hear all the noise, aka transparency. Now again, the Galaxy Buds Pros do a very good job when it comes to transparency. When you have them in your ears, your surroundings won't sound as loud and completely as normal sounding as your natural ears, because it does have a bit of that microphony feel. Not so much though like some other headphones and earbuds, because it still sounds pretty natural, but not as natural as your actual ears. Still pretty good though. Sadly again though for the Buds Pros, but the AirPods Max is basically perfect when it comes to transparency. They can really compete against your actual ears, like actually. They're the best over-ear headphones in the world when it comes to transparency. It's actually weird how good they sound, because over-ear headphones really don't do transparency right. And even the best ones still sound like you're using the microphones to give you the sound that you're hearing. Not the AirPods Max though. The AirPods Max sound just like your ears. There's a tiny bit of this electronic sound as well with the AirPods Max's sound. Like very small amount, you probably won't be able to hear it. But apart from that, and even with that, it's still basically perfect when it comes to transparency. And even though the Galaxy Buds Pros are good as well, the AirPods Max is definitely better. But the Galaxy Buds Pros do have something the AirPods Max don't though. With them, you can mess with the level of transparency you're on. I find that the medium setting is closest to your ears, just a little bit less loud. And the high setting will have things a little louder than your ears, and it's not too bad. But the extra high setting will have things way too loud, like a whole lot louder than your ears. I like to leave mine in the medium setting because, like I said, I find that mode to be the closest to natural, but it is nice to have the options to change things. But still though, even with all these modes, you still get that slight microphony and unnatural sound from the Galaxy Buds, and that just can't compare with the natural sound you get with the AirPods Max. The AirPods Max is just better when it comes to transparency. But as long as you don't find the Buds Pro's transparency mode so useful, or if you just keep it in one mode like me. But still, because of the microphony sound, I'll say the AirPods Max is better when it comes to transparency. Okay, since we're here, let's talk about the microphones. How do they compare against each other when it comes to phone calls, voice recordings, or whatever? Well, I'm going to read you a passage so you can hear how the microphones sound for yourself. The boy who cried wolf, shout out. Shout out Aesop, A-E. There was once a young shepherd boy who tended his sheep at the foot of a mountain near a dark forest. It was rather lonely for him all day, so he thought upon a plan by which he could get a little company and some excitement. He rushed down towards the village, calling out, "Wolf, wolf!" And the villagers came out to meet him, and some of them stopped with him for a considerable amount of time. Now, this pleased the boy so much that a few days afterwards, he tried the same trick again, and the villagers came to his help again. But shortly after this, a wolf actually did come out of the forest and began to worry the sheep. And the boy, of course, cried out, "Wolf, wolf," still louder than before. But this time, the villagers who had been fooled twice before thought the boy was again deceiving them, and nobody dared to come to his help. So the wolf ate the little boy, and anyways, normally after this, microphones, I'll tell you how microphones don't really matter, man. But I do think that, I don't even know. Microphones don't matter that much, honestly. I don't see how microphones matter that much. No one really complains whenever I talk to them on the phone. But this is my transition to design. Now, design is an area that is important. More so for earbuds though, not headphones. Because with earbuds, design will affect fit, comfort, seamlessness in general, and whether or not you just want to be seen wearing the earbuds wherever you go. I mean, you don't want ugly looking earbuds, right? Well, unless you don't care. But if you do care though, then you really love the Airpods Max. Actually, you might not, because I don't know if I can say they're the prettiest and most aesthetically pleasing headphones out there per se, but they definitely have a unique and premium looking design. Premium feeling design too. They're one of the only headphones out there that uses metal, actual metal for the body of the headphones. So they always feel cool to touch, and I'm pretty sure they're just the most premium headphones out there, at least from what I know. As far as buttons go, they have two, one for playing or pausing your music, which is what doubles up as a knob for adjusting your volume rocker. Oh, and it's a very good volume rocker too, but we'll talk more about that later, okay? Now the second button is for switching from noise canceling to transparency to noise canceling to transparency, all of that, right? Now, as far as the rest of the headphone, it has a fabric material mixed in with the metal, as you can see. The fabric at the top is elastic, just like fabric, but it is firmer than you think, because it doesn't really stretch past a certain point. So I think it's gonna last a long time. Like, it's not gonna give and lose its shape, I don't think. The fabric material is also on the ear cups. They're soft and comfortable, well, for the most part though, because there are some annoying things that have to do with them. But we'll talk about that later, okay? Right now, let's get to the design of the Galaxy Bud Pros. Now, the Bud Pros just look normal. Just look like a normal earbud design. They're not made as premium as the Airpods Max. Well, basically, no headphones or earbuds or audio device for that matter is made as premium as the Airpods Max. But yeah, the Bud Pros are made with this plasticky material. It has a matte feel on the side that goes in your ears, and then a glossy feel on the other side. And this other side is basically the entire touchpad area. And that's where you access all the controls in the Bud Pros by tapping the touchpad. And it works pretty well for the most part. Now, a touchpad design implementation in general isn't the worst way to do things, but it's not the best way either. And there are some issues with using this touchpad that we'll talk about real soon. But anyways, as far as aesthetic design goes, your Bud Pros don't have to look like mine. You have several colors you can choose from if that's what you prefer. Same thing goes for the Airpods Max. There are different colors there as well. I don't have the silver one, but I really think black looks the best. I've never seen it in person, but I just know. With the Airpods Max though, you can actually take the color customization even further. You probably already know by now, but the Airpods Max has removable magnetic ear cushions. So you can mix and match different colored ear cushions if you want. It's gonna cost you $69 though for each new pair. And you also should know, these ear cushions aren't gonna be like the best for every single thing you might want to use them for. Like, what I'm saying is, the Airpods Max with the metal and fabric design is not always seamless when it comes to actual real world use. Like, take working out for example. Yeah, I'm never gonna be doing that again. Why? Because making quick movements with these expensive headphones is just a bad idea. Yep, they're definitely gonna fall off. It's just a matter of time. Just because of how they're built and the way the weight's distributed, like, it's just inevitable. Now, I'm not sure what's actually worse, like the fact that it can fall down on the ground and get damaged or whatever. I don't know if that's the worst thing that can happen. Actually, no, that's probably the worst thing that can happen. But another bad thing that could really happen, that will really happen if you start working out, is sweat absorption. Actually, maybe I was wrong, because feeling wet and sweaty headphones against your dry ears is just a yucky feeling. And the ear cushions are made of fabric, so of course they're going to absorb all the sweat you can give it. And it's not just going to be sweat that we'll be getting on the ear cushions, because soon dirt and dust and stains will as well. Like I said, it is a fabric material, so you're going to have to be careful so it doesn't get dirty. But if you're going to be working out with it and sweating, it probably will get dirty, like this. Now you don't have to worry too much though and be too careful, because remember, it's just fabric, so you can just wash it and get the stains out. I never put mine in the washing machine though. I don't know how that would fare. I think it probably will be fine. But they are magnets at the back of the air cushions as well. And I don't know what's gonna happen if they get soaked. But yeah, you can just wash it with your hands or a toothbrush or whatever. Now I haven't dealt with the worst of stains though, and I'm not sure if worse and more permanent stains will easily come off like in this case. But all in all, I'll just really avoid working out with the AirPods Max. I mean, besides the fact that over-ear headphones aren't the best in the first place and they're not the most seamless for working out, the AirPods Max is extra not good for working out. So I advise that you don't do it, okay? No running, no cardio. In fact, nothing that has to do with sweat at all right? So you better trust and listen to me. If you don't come crying to me when the AirPods Max gives you a wet willy and your ears get all moist and uncomfortable. Hey, I tried to warn you, G. I tried. Now the Bud Pros, on the other hand, are also not the best for working out either. You know, it's fine for light jogging or weightlifting or light stuff like that where you're not moving too much. But as soon as you start doing something like cardio that involves making quick and intense movements, your Bud Pros are gonna end up on the floor. They just can't handle intense movements and high activity. So they're gonna fall out of your ears if you do anything like that. Well, if you have ears like mine at least. I'll still work out with the Bud Pros before I ever do it with the AirPods Max though. Like I said, never again, never. Now something else the Bud Pros are better at compared to the AirPods Max is that they're more portable. I mean, it's obvious, right? They're earbuds and the AirPods Max is a headphone. But yeah, it's easier to wear the Bud Pros in more outfits and to easily go to more places with the Bud Pros because they're just more portable, both in your ears and in your pockets as well. Now, to be fair though, the AirPods Max will fit in your pocket if you try hard enough. But I don't know, whenever I have the AirPods Max in my pocket, it just feels like it's taking up a little more space than the Bud Pros. Just a little bit. I mean, you can see for yourself, what am I saying? But if I had to give it to one of them, I guess I'll give it to the Bud Pros. I guess. Another area I'll give to the Bud Pros is the comfort you feel while laying down in the bed on your side. Just like most earbuds, it's not a problem laying down and listening to your music or watching whatever you're watching with the Galaxy Bud Pros. With the AirPods Max, it actually isn't too much of a problem as well. The AirPods Max is surprisingly not as uncomfortable as other earbuds. In fact, they're pretty comfortable as soon as you adjust them so your weight's not directly on your cheekbone, because that's when it's uncomfortable on the bed. But apart from that, your neck's not gonna hurt, your ear's not gonna hurt. It's pretty comfortable. With other headphones, your neck is definitely gonna hurt, your ears are definitely gonna hurt, and you won't be able to stay in this position for even 20 seconds. In fact, 5 seconds in, you're gonna know you don't wanna keep going. With the AirPods Max, you're good. They're still not as comfortable as the Galaxy Bud Pros though, and other earbuds, but they're one of the most comfortable headphones when laying down the bed on your side. Still though, you're not gonna want to be wearing them for a long time. Not just on the bed, but in general. Because after you wear them for a while, they just start to feel uncomfortable and like they're hurting the sides of your ears. With the Bud Pros, this discomfort isn't a problem. Well, not really, because you could get tired of wearing them after a while, but I won't say they get uncomfortable. You know, it's more like I get tired of having buds than the inside of my ears. But this barely happens though, and most times I can really forget that I'm even wearing anything. And that's basically the definition of seamlessness, you know? Now, I don't forget the Bud Pros are in my ears though, to the extent of how I do with something like the AirPod Pros. Because with those, you can really forget anything's in your ears at all. In fact, I've even gone around looking for my AirPod Pros while they were just in my ears before. I'm not stupid though, the AirPod Pros are just that seamless. Well, when they're working properly. But anyways, the Galaxy Bud Pros are pretty seamless. Definitely more than the AirPods Max. Actually, what am I saying? Apart from working out with sweat and dirt messing with the ear cushions and the fact that they get kind of uncomfortable after a while, apart from these things, the rest of the experience you get with the AirPods Max is very seamless. For one, the volume rocker works very well. They're easily a good amount better than the volume rocker or volume controls on any other headphones, earbuds, etc. You can go from 0 to 100 and 0 to 100 very quickly and precisely. Now this isn't too big a deal, but it feels like you have much more control, and it's just a very seamless implementation of volume controls in general. Now they also have a bunch of features that just work automatically, like when you take them off, they'll pause your music for you, and they'll also immediately go into a low power mode automatically to save battery. Yeah, these things work pretty well, but we'll talk about them more later, okay? Now as far as the non-automatic or manual controls, I'm talking to buttons, well they work like they're supposed to, and you're not gonna have any problems with them. This isn't the case though with the Galaxy Bud Pros. That's what I was talking about earlier actually. With the Bud Pros, the touchpad works well for the most part. Like you tap it once and it works fine. Even double tapping to skip to your next song works fine and consistently. But it's when you want to triple tap to go to the previous song that things get inconsistent. Many times, the Bud Pros just register a double tap and skip to the next song. So you have to triple tap again, but more slowly and intentionally this time, and then it'll work. Now, this isn't so bad though, and you can get used to it by tapping slower and intentional all the time, I guess. But all in all, apart from the inconsistent triple tapping and the bad fit when working out or moving too fast, the Bud Pros give you a pretty seamless experience for earbuds. Now the AirPods Max on the other hand gives you a pretty seamless experience for over-ear headphones, but they do have their downsides too though. Like you don't want to work out with them and get a bunch of sweat absorbed by the ear cushions, and you don't want to get a lot of dirt on the ear cushions as well, because then you're just gonna have to put in more effort to keep them clean. You know, these things plus the fact that it starts to feel uncomfortable after you wear them for a while, like an hour or two. These things are the most unseamless parts of the experience with the AirPods Max. Apart from these things, everything else is pretty seamless and works very, very well. In fact, seamlessness in the AirPods Max is even helped by the extra features that Apple put in, like playing and pausing your music, for example. The AirPods Max does this for you automatically. It only works with Apple devices though, but they use the sensors plus whatever else Apple has put in with the hardware or the software for the feature to work, and it works perfect basically. Now the Bud Pros don't have this feature exactly. It will pause after a while when you take it out of your ears, but it won't play again and pause again automatically. The Bud Pros do have a very cool feature though that the AirPods Max doesn't have, and that's the voice detect feature. It's kind of self-explanatory. When your music's playing and you start talking, the music's going to pause for you and it's going to put you into transparency mode or ambient mode, and you'll be able to go and have a conversation like real quick. In the real world though, if you want to use this feature, you really have to stay in a very quiet environment so it doesn't think you're having a conversation. I found it's pretty sensitive that way. It's still pretty cool though. Now the AirPods Max on the other hand doesn't have this automatic type feature, but there's kind of a quick conversation shortcut feature that I found with the AirPods Max. You just push both buttons at the same time and your music will pause and you'll be in transparency mode. It's not as cool as the speak to chat feature though. A very cool feature the AirPods Max has though is spatial audio. And spatial audio just gives your ears a different kind of movie watching experience. It basically makes it seem like you're in your own personal theater with sound coming from speakers all around you. It only works on iPhones and iPads though. Now the Galaxy Bud Pros also have this feature. Theirs is called 360 audio, and I hear it sounds pretty good, but I haven't tested it myself. It only works with Samsung devices with One UI 3.1 and higher, and that's why I haven't been able to use it actually, because I don't have any of these devices. But yeah, it's a similar situation to the AirPods Max. Now the Bud Pros have another extra feature that the AirPods Max and most other headphones don't though, and that is they're waterproof. Well, technically they're water resistant with a rating of IPX7, which is a very high rating for earbud standards today. Now, of course, the AirPods Max doesn't have this feature. Now, we have some more extra features like the Find My Earbuds feature, which they both have actually. Both of them have the ability to play some sound, and both with GPS integration as well. But that's about it for extra features. Now, let's talk about how long it'll take before everything we've talked about for the last 20-some minutes or so will matter at all. I mean, think about it. You can't use any extra features or enjoy any noise canceling or sound quality when your battery is dead, right? So how do they compare when it comes to battery life? Well, the Galaxy Bud Pros last about 4 to 5 hours on a full charge, and that's about on the low end of the battery standards with earbuds, around the level of the AirPods Pros. Now, the AirPods Max lasts about 20 hours on a full charge, which is on the low end of the standards for over-ear headphones as well, but it's a different case with headphones, 20 hours is still a very long time. Now, there's more to battery life with both devices though. For the Galaxy Bud Pros, it's the case. The case uses about 36% of its battery to charge the Bud Pros completely, so that means it can only charge the Bud Pros themselves from empty to full about 3 times. Actually, not even. The case's battery will die before the earbuds get to 100% the third time. This means you're going to be charging the case a lot, more than other earbuds for sure. So yeah, that's the battery situation with the Bud Pros. As far as the AirPods Max, the thing that's different with them is that they have no power button, so there's no way to turn them off. Rather, there's only one way to turn them off. It's not with any button though. You probably know by now, you can only turn it off by putting it in the case. Oh yeah, we haven't talked about the AirPods Max's case in this video, and we're not really going to, I should tell you what I think about the case. I don't mean anything negative or positive by that. The case is just almost irrelevant in the experience of using the AirPods Max. I mean, I never felt the need or the want to use it, so I just never did. And that should tell you what you need to know in regards to battery life. So you never really need to worry about turning off the AirPods Max. Even if you don't put it in the case, as long as it detects it's not on your head, like with the sensors, it'll go into that very low power mode we talked about before, and it's barely gonna drain any battery. I mean, like it wouldn't even drop a percentage overnight. Maybe 1 or 2, and that's about it. There's an exception to this though, where battery life could be really, really bad, and we'll talk about that Actually, let's get to that right now. All that's left that you need to know about battery life is that one, you don't want to charge the AirPods Max with USB-A to Lightning. It's going to charge very, very, very slowly. You want to use USB-C to Lightning. That's going to charge much faster. It's still not quite as fast as other headphones though, like the Sony flagship headphones, for example. Now the Galaxy Buds Pros, on the other hand, charges much faster, and it also has wireless charging as well. It's going to charge pretty slowly with wireless charging though. But yeah, that's about it for battery life. Now, about that thing with the AirPods Max I was talking about. You know how I said you don't have to worry about not turning the AirPods Max off because of the low power mode and stuff? Well, that is true for the most part, but it is possible the AirPods Max won't go into its low power mode when it's supposed to. And if that happens, then it'll be draining battery constantly, and you will have to worry about battery life. Just know though, I've never had this issue myself. Now, I've already talked about some other not so good things, like how spatial audio is only available for iPhone and iPad, and how 360 audio is only available for Samsung devices with One UI 3.1 and higher. But yeah, there's some more stuff like this. One, you can't check the battery of the AirPods Max on Android. It is Android though, so an app could come out that will let you do this in the future. Something else you can't do is basically anything with the Galaxy Wearable app if you're using iOS. You can get the Galaxy Wearable app on iOS, but it does not have support for the Galaxy Buds Pro. So it's kind of a similar situation on both sides. This stuff isn't too big a deal though, because regardless of the device you're using, you still have access to most of the things available with each device. Now, there's not much more not so good things. I'll say this though, the AirPods Max is the first headphone I've seen that doesn't have a headphone jack. So you're gonna need a dongle if you want to use it wired. Apple doesn't give you one when you buy the AirPods Max though. You're gonna have to buy it separately. You know, Apple's just funny like that. As far as the Galaxy Buds Pros, I've told you about all the bad stuff that has to do with them, but there's one other weird, not so good thing that I recently noticed about them. It happens with one song in particular. With this exact song, Through the Night by Jack Harlow, at this exact second, like somewhere towards the end of the song, the bass at one point just goes a little bit past the hardware point of the Galaxy Buds Pros, and you can just hear it go like bad. It's very bad sounding. I wasn't exaggerating there. You know, I actually played it live and reacted. I wasn't acting or anything. But it only happens at this particular moment with this particular song though. So that's pretty strange. I've never had it happen with any other song, so that's kind of weird. I mean, it's not a big deal, but if it was happening with many, many songs, then it would absolutely be unusable. If you have the Galaxy Buds Pros, let me know what your experience with this is. Okay, so that's about it. I think we've gone through just about everything. So now, which is actually better? Like when it comes to everything, which is better? Well, the AirPods Max has better noise cancelling, the best noise cancelling in the world actually. They also have better sound quality, like your music's gonna sound great when working out. Wait, nope. You don't want to work out with the AirPods Max. Not even light workouts. You know how sweat is with the air cushions. You could do light workouts with the Buds Pros though. Fit is good when you're not moving too much, and they're pretty portable since they're earbuds. And they're also very good at the stuff they do too. Like they have very, very good noise cancelling, very good transparency. Damn, none of them as good as the AirPods Max though. I mean, the Buds Pros are very, very good for earbuds, but the AirPods Max is just great. I'm better when it comes to everything. A good bit better at noise cancelling, more natural sound and transparency, and a decent bit better sound quality. But then you turn it around and it could be dirty like this. So you realize that the AirPods Max can be pretty high maintenance, and you can't use it to do just anything you like you would with other headphones. Instead, you have to restrict yourself to protect and take care of your expensive luxury headphones. And that's not the nicest thing for a device that's supposed to work for you, and not the other way around. At the end of the day though, we just have to ask, is there anything the Galaxy Buds Pros do better than the AirPods Max? Well, you could say they're more seamless, and they have the other earbud stuff going for them, like portability and ease. But the AirPods Max does work pretty seamlessly too though, and it does make your life easy with all the automatic stuff it does. But it gets uncomfortable after a while, and it's just not as seamless as the Galaxy earbuds. But can the Galaxy Buds really win this comparison based on seamlessness alone? If we're being honest, no, it cannot. Okay, so I don't want to waste any more time, alright? So taking all things into account, first, I just want to say that the loser of this comparison is very, very, very good. And it's in a category that I'm sure will be able to go toe-to-toe and even beat over-ear headphones in the future. But that won't be happening in this video because the AirPods Max is the winner today. They're just better when it comes to most parts of our audio listening experience. It's really as simple as that. Yeah, not very outrageous. Maybe next time. I'm late.